You gave her everything, your time, your energy, your heart. You texted first, you called, you showed her you cared, and somehow, the more you gave, the less she seemed to want it. Now she's distant, cold, the conversations are short, the replies take hours, and you're sitting there wondering what the hell changed. Maybe this feels familiar. You replay the moments in your head, trying to find where it went wrong. You ask yourself, did I say too much? Was I too available? Should I have waited for her to reach out first? You feel that ache in your chest every time your phone lights up, hoping it's her, and hating yourself a little when it's not. If this is you, you're not weak. You're just a man who cared in a world that rewards indifference. You wanted to show her she mattered, but instead, it made her pull away. And now you're caught between two painful choices. Keep chasing and lose your self-respect, or walk away and risk losing her forever. But here's the part no one tells you. When you stop chasing her, she doesn't move on. She starts wondering why you stopped, and that question, that silence, it begins to echo in her mind louder than your words ever did. Because when your energy disappears, when your presence fades, something shifts inside her that she'll never admit out loud. So what really goes through a woman's head when you stop chasing her? What does she feel when the man who once chased her suddenly goes silent? Most men get this part completely wrong. They think if they stop chasing her, she'll forget about them, that she'll move on to someone else and they'll fade from her mind like they never existed. So they panic. They text again, they double down, they try harder. And that's exactly where they lose themselves. What they don't understand is that women don't respond to pressure, they respond to presence. When you chase, you send a silent message. My worth depends on your attention. And the moment she feels that, the attraction starts to die, because deep down, a woman wants to feel your energy, not your desperation. She's drawn to the man who has control over himself, not the man trying to control her. This is where most men get tested. The silence after you stop chasing isn't punishment. It's the space where your true value is revealed. If you can stay calm in that silence, if you can hold your frame when your ego screams at you to reach out, that's when you shift the power dynamic without saying a word. Masculine energy isn't about doing more. It's about being centered, grounded, unshaken. It's knowing that your attention is valuable, and not everyone deserves it. That's what draws her curiosity back. Not the chase, not the words, but your ability to stand still when every other man runs after her. So no, you don't lose her when you stop chasing. You only lose the version of yourself that was begging to be seen. And that's the moment she starts to wonder, what changed in him? And why does that suddenly make him feel different? It starts with silence, the kind that feels heavier than words. You've stopped reaching out. No more texts, no calls, no late-night check-ins, just to see if she's okay. At first it feels strange, almost wrong, like your hands don't know what to do without the phone in them. But deep down, something in you knows. This silence is the only thing left that still has meaning. She notices it sooner than she'll ever admit. At first, she tells herself she doesn't care. She scrolls through her messages, pretending not to see your name missing from the top of her screen. But as the hours turn to days, that quiet starts to echo in her head. Why hasn't he reached out? She thinks. Did he move on that easily? You're not there to answer her questions, and that absence becomes louder than any words you ever said. She starts remembering your tone, your patience, the steadiness in your voice. The things she once overlooked now haunt her in small moments. The way you used to listen when she talked, the calm in your eyes when she tried to provoke a reaction. Meanwhile, you're sitting in the same silence, but it feels different now. It's no longer about missing her. It's about finding yourself again. You're breathing slower. You're standing taller. For the first time, it's not about her reply. It's about your peace. And somewhere out there, she feels that shift. She can't explain why, but the man she thought she understood suddenly feels unfamiliar, distant, untouchable. And in that distance, her thoughts start to spiral, because the silence she once wanted has now become the very thing she can't stop thinking about. Most men grow up believing that chasing a woman proves they care, that effort equals love, and persistence wins hearts. But here's the truth. When you chase, you're not proving your value. You're abandoning it. You're showing her that her validation matters more than your peace. You start performing instead of leading, reacting instead of choosing. And the moment you do that, the attraction quietly dies. She didn't ghost you. You disappeared from yourself. Another lie men believe is that women lose interest when you stop trying, but it's the opposite. A woman loses interest when she feels your energy is no longer rooted in strength. When your attention becomes constant, predictable, and needy, it stops feeling special. Desire needs space to breathe. Without mystery, there's no magnetism. The more you chase her, the more she runs. The moment you stand still, she feels your gravity. And then there's the biggest lie, that walking away means giving up. Walking away is what separates boys from men. It's not about proving a point or playing games. It's about choosing yourself when your effort is no longer being met. It's knowing that silence can speak louder than pleading ever will. She doesn't respect the man who needs her. She respects the man who needs nothing to be himself. The truth is, the moment you stop chasing, you start radiating something she can't ignore: peace, presence, and quiet confidence. That's when she starts thinking. That's when she feels the difference. Because she's not drawn to the man who gives her everything. She's drawn to the man who gives himself enough to walk away. The 1% headman doesn't chase because he understands something deeper. Attraction isn't built through pursuit, it's built through presence. He knows that attention loses value when it's given away too easily. So instead of pouring his energy into convincing someone to see his worth, he invests that same energy into becoming the kind of man who can't be ignored. This is what he understands: that silence isn't weakness, it's power under control. That walking away doesn't mean he stopped caring, it means he started respecting himself. When he stops chasing, he doesn't do it to play games or make her miss him. He does it because he's grounded enough to know that anything real will meet him halfway. This is how he leads, with presence, not pressure. He listens more than he explains. He observes more than he reacts. He moves through life with calm authority because his emotions no longer own him. He owns them. And that kind of steadiness makes people lean in. While most men spiral in anxiety, wondering what she's thinking, the 1% headman is focused on becoming a man she can't stop thinking about. Not because he's loud, but because he's rare. His stillness creates curiosity, his distance creates desire, and his purpose creates magnetism. He doesn't chase validation, he commands respect. He doesn't fight for attention, he earns it by how he carries himself, because he knows something most never learn. The moment you stop trying to prove your worth to someone else, that's the moment you finally start to feel it for yourself, and that's when she feels it too. There comes a night when the noise finally dies down. No more checking the phone, no more scrolling through old messages, no more wondering if she's thinking about you. Just silence, heavy, still, and honest. For the first time in weeks, you stop fighting it. You sit there in that quiet space and realize it's not her you've been missing, it's you. You remember the man you were before you started chasing, the one who had peace in his eyes, purpose in his chest, and fire in his voice. Somewhere along the way, you gave that man away, piece by piece, in exchange for someone else's attention. And now, in this stillness, you see how much of yourself you've been trying to earn back through her. That's when it hits you. You were never waiting for her reply. You were waiting for your own reflection to come back, for the part of you that stopped believing you were enough without her presence. And in that moment, something shifts, the weight lifts, the obsession fades. What replaces it isn't anger or bitterness, and it's clarity. You realize she was never the lesson. You were. The way you loved, the way you gave, the way you lost yourself, it all led you here, to this exact second of awareness. You finally understand that walking away isn't about her at all. It's about returning home to your own value. And as you breathe in that truth, everything changes. The silence that once hurt now feels peaceful. The space that once felt empty now feels powerful, because the man who once waited has finally remembered who he was never meant to chase. When you stop chasing her, she doesn't forget you. She starts feeling the absence of your energy, the weight of your silence, the steadiness she once took for granted. That's when she realizes it was never your words that drew her in. It was your presence. And now that it's gone, she finally sees the difference between a man who needed her and a man who never lost himself loving her, because in the end, she doesn't miss the chase. She misses the man who found peace in walking away. And that's the moment she starts chasing it.